What up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Make sure you hit the like button for me. I forget to ask you guys, hit the like button, okay? And subscribe to the channel so that way you can keep up with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know if it's with the Dallas Cowboys or not, but we have some more news on DeAndre Hopkins, okay? Here's the latest that we've heard. He has hired Clutch Sports agent. Now, much like Lamar Jackson, he used to represent himself and has decided, I'm going to go ahead and get me a professional. So that's the first thing. Thibodeau, he's, that company has, Thibodeau and everything else and stuff like that representing him. Although with Thibodeau, since he's on his rookie contract, there really isn't any negotiation because they're slotted. But be that as it may, DeAndre Hopkins now has representation, and that's what NFL teams, they'd rather deal with an agent than to deal with the player. First thing, how much money is it going to cost for DeAndre Hopkins? The thought is that he'll get a contract offer of somewhere like Michael Thomas with incentives that would be closer to what he was going to make this year. That being said, what was he going to make this year? This year's cap number was actually going to be around $19 million. The thought is that he'll get a contract that will be incentive laden. So somewhere around the $13, $14, $15 million range, with incentives that could push it to like 17, 18, 19 million, which is not, the worst number you could see. I mean, you think about Odell Beckham getting 15 million with incentives and so on right there, coming off of the ACL injury. Hopkins, although some people believe that Hopkins may have had his best years behind him and that it may not be worth it for the Cowboys, I think they're not going to be looking at this because I think they like having their wide receiver room that they have. For me, I believe the more weapons, the better, but you also have to understand you only have so much money that can go around. The Cowboys better suited putting more money around for another weapon when you've got Tony Pollard, when you've got, Deuce Vaughn, when you have, your three-headed tight end monster, when you have Brandon Cooks, when you have Michael Gallup, who should be healthy, when you have CeeDee Lamb, that there's only so many balls to go around. And the question then becomes, are you really going to have, we're going to spend $15 million for a guy who might only get targeted 5 or 6 times a game? I can't answer that question. That's the answer for the Cowboys to make. Going back to teams that are possibilities, of course, we've heard, Cleveland Browns because of reuniting with Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson needing more weapons besides, of course, just Amari Cooper. Kevin Stefanski, their coach, seemed to be kind of cool on the idea of bringing in DeAndre Hopkins. He's kind of like, I like my wide receiver room, and I'm not looking to spend any more money right now on a wide receiver, and we're not really that interested. Although I will say this, you're not going to go out and say, yeah, we're interested, because that makes negotiation a little harder. Your best ability is to be able to walk away. So you don't expect to say, yeah, we're all in, we're going to go. No, you're not going to hear that. But he did seem to be kind of cool on that idea. Of course, we're hearing that Kansas City may be interested in signing him because they don't want the Buffalo Bills to get better and have that guy. So what's going to happen with the situation? Who knows? We'll have to just sit back, relax, and see what happens. The thing that may be interesting is when we think about how Buffalo was kind of in on trying to get Odell. They brought him in for a tryout, at the end of last year. We had heard all of these teams that were interested in Odell. Talking about Odell just wants to put me to sleep. we had all these teams that were supposedly interested in Odell, but it seemed like nobody was interested in signing him for what he wanted until the Ravens, out of desperation to appease Lamar Jackson, did. So we could be looking at one of those situations that, yeah, Kansas City and Buffalo are both interested, but are they interested in that $14-15 million deal? We'll have to wait and see on that one. All right, good people. You know how we roll. You know, we're going to keep on rolling, running, and taking care of these errands. And eventually we'll get back to the man cave, and we'll be bringing you some more news and updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, and I got some incredible news today. Oh, I'm just going to tease it. I'm going to tease it. But, man, this is huge. I mean, this is bigly huge news that we got today. All right, peace.